Alright, how's everyone doing today? It's just Sicko here. Main reason I'm here is obviously playing Wonderlands, really enjoying it, but I have found a Spore Warden build that works really well. It's a Spore Warden and Stabbomancer combo. Kind of break it down for you guys and try to explain as much as I can with understanding how things work together, why they work so well together. So just because I've watched a lot of other build videos, I'm going to keep it short and sweet and try to explain as much as I can so there's less confusion. So first things first, this way you can at least just see where the points are spent, how they're spent. You can change a couple things if you want to. But where I focus the most out of the gate is going off of gun damage and then straight into crit hit chance. Very big things there, obviously. Then I went with Shroom Cloud next. Biggest thing there is just keeping aggro off yourself a little bit with your little fart buddy, who is, if you haven't noticed, thicker than a Snickers. And then you have maxed out, which if you're running solo or even as a duo and you're getting into some harder content, having this is huge, especially just being able to revive you. This I have in just to regen ammo slowly if I need to. You can put those 3 into some other spot if you want. Magazine size is huge. It's really nice. It's a nice thing to have, actually. I put 2 into here just so it can extend down in here. I'll explain why it doesn't matter as much. But I'll kind of show you as we get lower into this tree here. And this one I just put 1 in point just to help keep my action cooldown, or the action skill cooldown a little bit lower. When we get into here, this is where where this build really works well. Especially with this one, when the Faint Maker deals ability damage to an enemy, the affected takes increased damage from all sources for a duration. So for 12 seconds, an enemy that's hit from your tornado is taking 54% more damage. Tornado works really well because it bounces around, targets people for you. Doesn't do necessarily a lot of damage, granted it's doing around 352, but in hindsight, that's not a whole lot. Critical hit area, is increased, and gun damage dealt to crit hit, so that's kind of a nice thing. This one, I've played around with having this and not having it. I think it's nice to have, so I just run with it, having those bullets bounce a little bit. And then why it works so well with Stabbomancer is going in and going for status effect damage and chance and duration. So starting on this side, we're going to go for everything that is status effect as much as possible. So here we get the 20 and 40, 2 damage and duration. Here we get the effect, status effect and damage increase from that. Here, I actually made it so I'm a huge Zane player from BL3. I enjoy speed, I enjoy moving, I hate sitting still and having to fight. So putting this into, while moving, the gain increased damage dealt. So the faster you're moving, the greater the bonus. This one was just a point. Why did I put one in here? Maximum attack is guaranteed. You can put this wherever. I'm probably going to re-roll and fix that. Here, same thing, just putting points in to get lower into this one here. Can now sprint and shoot. That's huge. Obviously, the faster you're moving, more damage. Makes sense. And then this one is... This is where I wish I might move some of these around and put them more into here. Spread chance, obviously, if you can spread it to nearby enemies, that's huge. Otherwise, applied status effect, it has a chance to span or apply a random one if there's no one else around. Pretty nice there as well. When it comes to weapons and things that I'm using with it, so one of my favorite ones, because you're built off frost, you do increase frost damage with him, or with a Spore Warden. You have higher frost damage. So my main weapon is the Nightshade of the Peak. I did drop it as a chaotic. It works really well, especially just with its fire rate, increased fire rate from everything else. Magazine size is a little small, but with your bonuses, you don't notice it. It's still sitting at roughly 50. This one does a lot of weapon damage, a lot of damage overall. This one is just for things that don't get a bonus, so especially like skeletons or things that I don't have a matching type of element on with. This shotgun is absolutely nuts. If you haven't found it yet, I recommend farming for it as much as possible. It is crazy good. This I'm going to switch out. I don't ever really use it because anything that's flesh, I just keep hitting with frost because I do more damage overall. When it comes to this one, I haven't really found another good option for a corrosive yet, but enjoying it. It works well. This is where it gets a little bit more, you can change a little bit more into what you want to wear. Rings, I went for ability damage and gun damage on them. You can kind of pick and choose what you want. Oddly enough, the first one, the Silicone Ring of Secrets, 10% magic efficiency, dark magic. I don't really use any dark magic, so I don't really benefit from that, and plus I'm at 1 health, you'll see why. Spell Radius is nice for the spell I'm using, because I think it's the best spell to run with this, especially for status effect. This one, the Spell Radius, Shotgun, crit critical damage, I could roll that, and Sniper Rifle, I might try to, I'll keep farming for this. But the nice part is, with health less than 50, these two rings really don't apply in that way right now, unfortunately, due to how my health works. Shield, I'm using a Mind Rune for cold resistance, but when you cast the spell, summon a Frost Rune under a nearby enemy that explodes after a short delay. That's kind of huge. Plus, it has a higher capacity, so it's just nice. It's got a quick recharge rate, and the delay isn't too bad either. And if you're running in a group and other people have runes, it's shared. It's kind of nice. The Deathless Mantle of the Bloodthirsty Savant. So perks, I haven't found a good role for this, but I'm enjoying this armor piece particularly. So the gun damage, the movement speed, and the critical hit chance are huge. Spore power and Stabbomancer power, they're not bad. If I could flip them, I probably will. And see if I can get a couple different perks, but obviously we're getting 1 to our gun damage and 2 to our critical hit, which is huge. When it comes to this skill, I don't know. It's all about building stacks for melee. I do melee on occasions, just to break it up, and I'll explain with the melee weapon here in a moment as well. When it comes to the necklace, again, gun damage and Stabbomancer power, plus gun reload speed, and all damage dealt is 10%. Whenever you deal a melee damage, you have a 30% chance to instantly reload one of your currently equipped guns. Not too bad. Do I use it all the time? No. I honestly forget 90% of the time that I can do that, but I'm also moving around so quick it doesn't really matter. Now the spell. So I came across a twister within the first boss that you fight and fell in love with it, and have been farming one since. I would prefer a cryo. I don't have a cryo one right now. That's a good roll. I did get a chaotic out of this one. But it's a simple fire and forget. Deals both fire and lightning damage. Not a great roll, but 20% spell plus damage or status effect damage is huge. Plus 15 of those. When it comes to your enchantments, so if you haven't realized yet, your armor and I think rings and necklace cannot get enchantments yet. Whether they change that or not, I don't know. I don't really enjoy the lightning damage on this one. I need to re-roll. But I've went through and on cast spell increased damage by 15. After skill start, gain spell cooldown. Just different things like that. Depending on what your playstyle is like, I try to boost as much damage as possible. Now when it comes to the melee weapon, I would prefer to do if I can find it. Give me 1 second, I didn't think this one. So the one that I use is this one, and the main reason is I don't really care about anything else on there. The attack speed is nice. It's a really quick attack, so you can get multiple off. But the melee attack, the amp perk. Melee attacks amplify the damage of your next 3 gunshots by 50% for the next 10 seconds. That's huge. You put out a lot of damage with that. Instead of running an amp shield, you can do this, and it's as soon as you hit, you get that back. So it's really nice. It's a nice little feature to keep boosting your ammo or your damage. Here, can I, let's see, I don't know. I don't think you can shut this off yet, or if they do or don't, I don't know how much is being boosted by that. But in the beginning, I did everything in a strength and dexterity. Main reason is crit hit chance, crit hit damage. With Stabbomancer, you also get a 40% crit hit damage chance. So then you're pairing that also with your 50% here, and then another 70 here. But then on top of that, we're getting another 2 on top of that from the extra 2 perks. So it's a lot. It all adds up and it all stacks really nicely. And then plus another 7% as well. I think that's all that's there here. I'm slowly building into this character for it. So we're going to build gun damage. And then we're going to start building into, I think I just built straight into wisdom here. On this one, we're going to be building into frost damage because we deal more damage frost-wise. And then just more points into my constitution because my health is kind of low and I'm squishy, but at the same time it doesn't matter because of our armor is reserve all but 1 plus then returning 150% ward capacity. Ward generation delay is reduced by 50%. Some people might like that. Granted, we have 12,000 shield. It's not a bad deal by all means. It works really well for me and how I play. So what I'll do now is I will quit talking. I'm going to just jump into a chaos run here, and you guys can watch and see what you think. And I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.
On fire, like to keep it wild. Can you pass the lighter? Don't be afraid of silence. Oh yeah, soaking up the vibes. We can kill some time. Just put your hands on me. I just want some peace. We don't get no sleep. I just want some peace. We don't get no sleep. She like to live and I like to spin. The chemistry working so naturally. All in the morning, I get it rolling. Hand on the throat and she keep on. I'm on my way to the take it to the top. My way to the top. Do you see the stars when you look in my eyes? When you look in my eyes, do I make you alive? If you see the lights when you look in the sky, they don't get you this high. They don't amount to my level. You ain't been under no pressure. Put in the time, know I'm better. Money you'll make, get up. Shooting my shot like Beretta. Yeah, feeling on me, she a heat. Ooh, love the way she look at me. Ooh, she wanna be on the team. Ooh, cause she know that I'm on my way to the top. Yeah, on my way to the top. Yeah. Hey, that's dope. I can't help but to say it. You already know what I'm thinking. I don't need to say it cause you already switched on. Yeah. Already switched on. Yeah. Already switched on. That thing swing when she bust it, yeah. She keep bands in the bank, yeah. Gucci slides with the white toes, yeah. That's that that I like, yeah. She got her own style and she on, yeah. She ain't even scared to be alone, yeah. Who can even match what she on, yeah. I can't help but to say, yeah. You already know what I'm thinking. I don't need to say it cause you already switched on, yeah. Already switched on, yeah. Already switched on. Said she hit her friends and they coming, yeah. Parked outside, they all jumping, yeah. They just wanna have fun, they don't wanna go, yeah. And she giving me the eye like she want it, yeah. And you know what you doing, you know how the game go. We don't do titles, you playing your role. We just do rounds like we doing patrol. Keep it don't nobody need to know. Got her own style and she on, yeah. She ain't even scared to be alone, yeah. Who can even match what she on, yeah. I can't help but to say, yeah. You already know what I'm thinking. I don't need to say it cause you already switched on, yeah. Already switched on, yeah. Already switched on. Girl, I got you switched on, yeah.
to pump the brakes. The minute things get good, I cut it just in case. Like makeup, an excuse, put on a poker face. But ever since you came along, I've changed my ways. Yeah, you make me feel like a queen, growing out of my mind, dancing on top of the ceiling. I can't tell if it's fake or make believe, but whatever you're giving me, I know that I need it. You're making me lose it. Alright, I don't wanna do it, but I just might call you up and tell you how I'm feeling about you now. I don't wanna wait another hour for you. Didn't think I'd ever have the confidence to be okay with letting someone like you in, but somehow you've gotten underneath my skin. Oh, I could get used to it, I could get used to it. Yeah, you make me feel like a queen, growing out of my mind, dancing on top of the ceiling. I can't tell if it's fake or make believe, but whatever you're giving me, I know that I need it. You're making me lose it. Alright, I don't wanna do it, but I just might call you up and tell you how I'm feeling about you now. I don't wanna wait another hour for you. You're making me lose it. Alright, I don't wanna do it, but I just might call you up and tell you how I'm feeling about you now. I don't wanna wait another hour for you.